I have finished some of my meditations this morning, and I was thinking about manifesting. And I know, like, everybody's like with that word, man, but it is a real thing. And there are people who um, work towards gaining things in life or achieving things in life. And that's what manifesting really is. So it's like, I know, again, people have taken this word and turned it into something like, kind of silly, or silly for some people. I'll just say that. But manifesting is a real thing. And it's about your mindset in a lot of ways. A lot of people don't necessarily believe in magic, which, again, that's their prerogative. But for me, I feel as though magic is science untapped into, and manifesting is a part of that. Attraction. Think of what lures people in, right? Think of catching a fish sometimes. So you need the right bait if you want a fish, right? And you need the right conditions if you want a fish. So, and you've got to have some patience if you want to catch fish. So, all of those things is attraction. You got to have all the right ingredients to bring something into your life. And I know a lot of people just assume, oh, you've got to hustle. And yeah, there is some aspect of that. But there's also the language that you use. A lot of people sleep on that. As you know, you create from your word, just like, as they say, the biblical God does. You create from your word. And that's why it's important not to say certain things as a person who wants to bring things into their life. Because in the spiritual realm, the moment that you think of the thing, it is the thing. And there is no time. And a lot of the language that some people tend to use is based on time. So this is what I mean. So, okay, I was thinking of trying to think of the perfect analogy of this before I got on here. So I'm thinking six-pack abs. Okay, so most men, I guess, want six-pack abs, right? And you would ask them, okay, so why do you want this? And they would probably say something like, oh, I will attract more women or men, so for attraction's sake. But if you want a mate or attract someone, you don't have to have six-pack abs per se. But if somebody were to want six-pack abs, they're going to say, when I get six-pack abs, then the women will come towards me. That word when, that is a time element, and you have just pushed away the things that you claim to want. Because, as I just said, when you think of a thing in the 4D realm, it is the thing. If anything, there is a time delay, but you don't want your language to increase the time delay. Okay? So that is the thing. It gets complex. Let me see what people are saying over there. So yeah, so when people use certain language, they are like putting into existence the thing, because their mind instantaneously thinks about the thing. And I'm not saying don't have like doubtful thoughts, things like that, because we do. It is our job to learn to have discipline in that regard, right? So of course, if a person, let's go back to that six pack ab, if a person wants six pack abs, they have to do something, right? If they want a partner or a spouse because of the six pack abs, then they put a condition on what they desire. You can just desire the thing. You don't have to do a thing necessarily, or put no, let me walk that back a little bit. There is things you must do, but putting a condition on it, a time condition in front of it, you've kind of put a delay on it, right? So again, you feel as though you can't have a spouse or a partner unless you have the six pack abs. But you know you could have a partner without having six pack abs. Again, this example where people put a condition in front of their desire when they don't have to. Okay. This is again something that I don't know if a lot of people will understand. And then there's the idea of, I don't want to say patience, but yeah, you're going to have patience. You have to be the thing and know that it's coming there to be. So if you want to break it down further, the six pack ab analogy thing, a person who has six pack abs usually is somebody who is fit and in shape, right? Like they work out. So if that is the case, then that means you must be working out. And then you'll have the six pack abs. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like you kind of have to be doing. That's what I meant by the doing. The being the person who has six pack abs means you will be working out and monitoring your food and taking care of your body. So you just can't say, I mean, you could, and you do, most people say, I want six pack abs so I can attract a mate. But then if you're not doing what people who have six pack abs are doing, then you've put a delay on that desire. Yeah, you've put a delay on that desire. And you have put a barrier towards your desire. Okay? So when you say, and again, the when, or once if I, like, when this happens, then this will happen. It's like, yeah, okay, you did that. So sometimes we have to really examine our language. That's even if you even acknowledge wanting a thing at all. Now, I deal with a lot of people who just completely just eviscerate their desires. And this is what I mean. So, oh, I'll never end up having a mate because I don't have six pack abs. Or I'll never be with anybody, that kind of thing. Or people don't like me. It's like, okay, you've totally just eviscerated whatever it was that you desired. Okay. That is also the kind of language that people bring to themselves. And back to that fish analogy, it's like if you're baiting yourself with nobody likes you, then you're going to get nobody likes you. Okay? So it's like the bait that you put out there. You put out the vibe that nobody likes you, then yeah, nobody's going to like you. Or you're going to get people who feel sorry for you. That's not liking, that's pity. Okay? So there's so much when it comes to the head game of manifestation and mental health and emotional intelligence. You really have to have emotional intelligence to be good at manifesting. You got to know how to control those doubts, get to control the reactions, and work on responding instead. And yeah, and I know for a lot of people, it could take a lot of work in rethinking and reframing and inner work. And that's why, when I do work with people, I strongly suggest they do their inner work. Like, you really have to go within and learn how to reflect, and you really have to go and really have some accountability in your life. In a way, spirituality is that. You're taking accountability for your life instead of letting somebody else tell you what's right or wrong. You really internally work on who you are. Working on personal development and how our language affects our personal goals. Because a lot of people talk themselves out of being successful. A lot of people talk themselves out of gaining more out of life, you know, and it is the language that you use is not the only thing, but it is definitely a part of it. It's like, um, if you're using negative language, then you're bringing negative energy to your life, you know? And a lot of times people, you get, okay, before I even go any further, I know because I know, okay, because I used to be like that. So I'm sure people will say, well, I'm just being real. I'm being realistic. It's like, mm, yeah, but there's also infinite possibility. So whose real do you want to be? Right? So you can choose. So as a lot of people will say, well, I'm being realistic, but whose reality? Whose reality are you being realistic for? And that's where, again, you get to choose. Mm-hmm. Hello. Konnichiwa. That's all I can say, I think. So, yeah, when it comes to bringing things into your life, like, you have to have the right kind of bait and the welcome mat to welcome it. It's like, things don't want to be around things that are negative. It's like, how can you be happy if you're not happy? You put a condition on it. Just be happy, you know? Be grateful, gratitude. Like, I know a lot of this sounds cliche. It's like the fact that you can have some tech in your hand and you're looking at it and you're looking at me, that's something to be grateful for. There's somebody who doesn't, who can't. Okay? So there's a lot of things that if we start really, really thinking deeply about, that you can find happiness, contentment, joy, awe, a sense of awe. And those are the things that will bring you even more. You've got to put the right, like I said, the right bait out there, put in the right seed and water it. You know, that's the key to manifesting. It's like when you put time and conditions and, I guess, even a sense of value, goes back to that analogy about six-pack abs. That's just to imply that you're in shape. That, what are you trying to say? That you could only have someone if you're in shape? That's not true, right? So we really do have to think about things before we put them out into the universe when we speak them. Okay. And with that, I say, take care.